3, United States in 4, Germany in 5, Australia in 6, Canada are in 7, and
with a time of
so it's interesting to note as we hear in the background the world record being held by the East German team. It's going to be a tough one to beat, isn't it?
7:55. I mean, that is some swim.
Also held by a team from the
you can see that in the qualifying. I think you made a great point there about swimming second string swimmers in the heats. There haven't been that many competitors for this particular event in terms of countries, and so it was probably a reasonable risk for some of the major teams to put in second string to get them. Maybe a little unusual, but I'm sure they've brought in one or two of their better swimmers.
And that's the Swedish team. Nielsen, Gustafsson. Scandinavian battle going on in lane 1 and 2 between Sweden and Denmark, and their team is Gita Jensen, Pugard, Poulsen, got Marianne and Mildred Mouse. Depends on how you pronounce that or want to pronounce that. Hazlett, who's on bronze already, Trina Radke and Janet Evans. So that's a strong team, but these two girls have swum pre. There we have the German team, Kielglass, Haas, Stelmark and Ortvig. They're sure to be tough. Redford, Dornbush and Lewis. Used to hold the world record in the 200 meters breaststroke. Kathy Bald, Julie Barbo and Petrine Dolby. Lynn Madsen, Trudy Abso. So they're under starters orders for this second start, and they're away cleanly this time. And let's see who's going to take the early lead. Is it going to be USA or Germany? USA in lane 4, Germany in lane 5. And it looks like the girl in lane 3, Marion Moos from Holland, is swimming the fastest up the first 50. So it's Moos for Holland and Hedgepath, United States, in lane number 4. These are the two early leaders, just turning after the first 50. Really, splits are irrelevant, but the American girl got a good turn there, as did the girl in lane number 7 from Canada. And that's Hickson, the breaststroker. And it's great to see a ex-world record holder in breaststroke swimming so well in this freestyle event. But there we have the leader with the stars and stripes on that black cap, the American Hedgepath in lane number 4.
You know, David, it's so important that the first swimmer establishes the tactical position. You know, the first 100 there, there's USA into the lead there. With Hedgepath, a nice balanced 100, and now starting to put a bit of pressure on the field, because that can set the whole race. As we know, the competition and the fight for position can still come off that first leg, so it's important for the first swimmer to take that kind of pressure and roll. And immediately we see a challenge here at 150. It's USA followed by Germany now moving up, and Holland.
So as expected, the American team, the very powerful American team, looking for the early lead. They're getting it from Hedgepath, but in second place it's the German team, and it's Kielglass for Germany in lane number 5. So about a meter lead for the American team going into this second leg, and swimming second for the United States is the gold medal winner, Heislett, swimming there, great takeover. And in second position it's West Germany, and well, I should say Germany, Manuela Stelmark. And Stelmark hasn't been swimming too well here. Let's see what she can do in this leg of the 200 freestyle.
Again, it's important that the first 50 is set correct. Too fast and you end up, you've burned up too much energy, too much oxygen, and maybe get into a little bit of difficulty in the latter part of the race. So the race now spearheading as per the seeded times and as per the expected tactics from these world-class nations. America, Germany and Holland, 1, 2 and 3, nicely balanced, and it's up now to these swimmers to start working their own tactics to get themselves into a better place for the next changeover. We're only at the halfway stage of this second leg.
It seems the way that this race is going that these three teams could totally embarrass the other teams, because they are very dominant right now. The lead is increasing all the time, and as Drew said, this is only the second leg of the 4x200 freestyle. The Americans and the Germans doing well. The Dutch team hanging on in there with Mussers, and look at Germany now. Stelmark from Germany beginning to creep up on the 100 swimmer, Nicole Heislet. So Stelmark, the fitter of the two, has taken at least 2 meters off that early lead of the American swimmers. But a great turn there by Haslett from the United States. That's a wonderful shot. You can see the American team just leading, but the German team right on the shoulder of Haslett. That's Massors for Germany, Haslett for United States. And they both look pretty tired to me. Third position, it was Holland, but Denmark are coming up, which is quite surprising. A great swim from the Danish girl, Pugard. And it's first United States, second Germany, and now the Danish team are third with the Dutch in fourth position. So the Americans, if you're interested, are 1.87 outside world record pace, so they're setting an excellent pace, and it's Radke for the United States, and it's Haas for Germany.
Yes, Trina Radke, a good, solid 200-meter swimmer, better known for her distance work, but of course that can help in the 4x200 relay, being able to steady that first spot. The German team with Dagmar Haas in the white cap at the top there, just beginning to close the gap. The takeover showed that America had a good takeover, 2 to 3, gained another meter on that. The Germans working hard now to get back, and now we're just looking at stroke for stroke as we come to the 100-meter mark of the third leg in this 4x200 meter freestyle relay.
Again, it looks to me like the second place team, the German team, have got the Americans exactly where they want them. Radke now beginning to put a little bit of pressure on the American swimmer. Or we should say Radke beginning to wilt from the pressure from Haas. The American dropping down a little bit now as Haas from Germany really did push that third 50. Germany now, first time they've led, and it's going to be some battle when these two girls are finished. There's only one leg to go, and going in for the United States is Janet Evans, and we don't know exactly how she's going to be sprinting, just a little bit heavier than we've seen her before. And in for Germany, it's a very strong Ortwig. So the Germans with the lead, the Americans tiring a little bit, and this could be a tremendous victory for this united Germany team.
A better takeover there for Germany. Stephanie Ortwig going in 2 meters up, and Janet Evans being asked to do it again for America off a disappointing 400 IM. Now comes into the sprint relay event, because in the fourth leg it's all about sprinting. They feel she must be the stronger of the team, and it's Germany just ahead at the first 50 from Janet Evans of USA, and Netherlands back into third place through Kari Brines.
If I was Ortwig, I would just slow down a little bit, let Evans come up to my shoulder. This could be what she's doing now, because we know Evans is more of a distance swimmer, Ortwig more of a sprinter, but also renowned for distance swimming too, but a better sprinter. And it looks like Evans is putting in a lot of work up this first 100. Ortwig looks some more of the relax of the two swimmers. They've got 100 meters to go. It's finally balanced now, and the Dutch team are really coming through very, very fast in lane number 3, and it's Kari Brines, but she's not going to catch these two girls. The winner is going to come from one of these two teams, Germany or the United States.
Classic difference in style. The breathing every 2 short revving stroke of perpetual motion Evans against Stephanie Ortwig, the more classic longer freestyle. But Evans is hanging in there. The Americans, great competitors, great battlers. Feet together on the wall. Everybody's up and shouting for their favorite. Evans is now moving into the lead, coming with 25, 30 meters to go. A great effort from this little American swimmer.
And I think Evans has got it. Evans, a determined character, has swum better tactics. We thought maybe that Ortwig was playing the tactical game, but no, it was Evans who with a continuous motion has managed to take the lead, hold on to the lead. United States get the gold, Germany get the silver, and that's the first time for a very long time that the American team has been dominant over a German team, especially the East German Hall. The final of the women's 200 meters backstroke. Fastest qualifier was Christina Egersegi, who won the 100 meters backstroke here. And I think, Drew, she must be one of the favourites to win this event.
This young girl
Off the pool. And of course the girls have to enter the water on the backstroke. And it's very important that they get a good start on this event and not slip off the blocks. Drew, you coached a few good backstrokers in your time. What impresses you about Christina Egersegi?
She has maintained, while she's put on a bit of weight and a bit of height, she's managed to maintain very, very good technical efficiency underwater. She's also extremely fit, very useful freestyler, swimming 4 and 800 freestyle, and this gives her that endurance quality for this particularly difficult event.
So off to a good start was Janie Wagstaff in lane 5, using that underwater dolphin kick. That's a lovely head-on shot there of the girls. And you can see in lane 4, it's Egersegi up the first 50, leading Janie Wagstaff from the United States, who got that great start in second position. Let's see if Wagstaff uses the dolphin on the turn. Just a couple of kicks there, not nearly as many as she did on the start. But as expected, it's Christina Egersegi from Hungary, who really should be the favourite for this event. She looks excellent in terms of technique, very steady, and it almost looks that she's not even trying there. But believe you and me, she's putting a lot of effort into this race. The world record is held by Betsy Mitchell at 2:08.60, and if anybody in this field is capable of doing that, it's that young girl, Egersegi.
This is an event where the time of 2:11 stood for a long time, then Cornelia Search with 2:09, the world championship record, took it down. There, beautiful shot of Egersegi in that rolling action there. People think that the body isn't turning in backstroke because the head's so steady, but the shoulders, the upper torso and the hips are all turning into the stroke to lend weight and power and strength. 150 metres, and Egersegi is just in total command of this event.
Yes, she really is. There you can see a lovely shot of that dolphin kick off the wall from Egersegi. Wagstaff chose not to use it there, so she's getting tired. And coming very strong down the last 50 is Dagmar Haas from Germany. So it looks like Haas is going to be overtaking the tiring Wagstaff, but no one's going to overtake the leader, Egersegi. And look how dominant she is in this 200 metres backstroke. She really has just swum this race exactly as she planned, and she's coming home 5 metres in the lead. Touches now 2:09.15. That's a new championship record. Great swim by Egersegi. It looked like the silver went to Haas and the bronze went to Janie with the gold. Dagmar Haas from Germany with the silver, and Janie Wagstaff from the United States with the bronze. Start list for the next event, the men's final of the 1500 metres freestyle. The longest race for men, and quite a race in prospect, with the fastest qualifier, Jörg Hoffmann from Germany in lane 4. His teammate, Stefan Pfeiffer, the man probably with the greatest.
It's an event where things can change though. Form doesn't always mean that's the way it's to go.
So as expected, they're away first time on the men's 1500 metres freestyle. There's usually no necessity to get in for an early swim because these men are going to be in the water for some 15 minutes. So the race is being taken on by Perkins in lane number 2. There he is with the yellow Australian cap, and straight away on the first 50 he moves into an early lead. So it's going to be interesting to see whether he can maintain this pace. I remember watching Salnikov at the Seoul Olympics with you, Drew, and what a race that was, where Salnikov had been out of swimming, came back to one of the toughest events on the book and won the gold. And he did that in style, and he broke the 15-minute barrier. So can any of these men break that magic 15th barrier. That really is like the 4-minute mile in running. So Perkins, first 100, he's under world record pace by an astonishing 1.6 seconds.
The Australians must have been given the same kind of team talk. Glenn Houseman is lying second there, and he's taken out quite fast for that first 100. The swimmers to be on 15 minutes, of course, it's easy arithmetic, 30 seconds every lap. So to go underneath that 50 minutes, they've got to go just somewhere in the race, either usually in the first 100 or the last 100, they will go under the minute for the 100 meters. He's done that already, so the pace is on, but it's very, very early on.
I must say Hoffman in lane 4 looks remarkably good. Nice loping stroke. You can hardly notice his two-beat kick, but the early pace being set by Kieran Perkins, and still under world record pace by 3 seconds now. So Kieran Perkins really is trying to split this field. Hoffman's going to go with them. It's going to be interesting to see whether Stefan Pfeiffer in lane 3 can go with them, and also in lane 6 at the top of your picture, Glenn Houseman. Or is this man, Kieran Perkins, going to burn off the rest of the field? Are they his tactics? Has he been told by his coach, you're the fittest man here, just go in there and swim and see if the other men go with you? And Hoffman is going with them. The other two, Pfeiffer and Houseman, expected the challenge to come from those two, but they're just a little bit down on the leader, Kieran Perkins.
Perkins looking good. Again, nice long stroke. Breathing to both sides, bilateral breathing, keeps the body in balance. And quite a swift turnover. 254 at the 300, that's looking good. Hoffman got a good turn there. Hoffman in the 400 looks such a strong swimmer. And that head-on shot shows you the excellent bent arm position underwater. After the swimmer's arms enters the water, you need to bend to get the maximum angle and strength from the elbow and the shoulder joint. Good tracking underneath the body, but it's also got to be economical because they're swimming for 15 minutes here. So if they put a lot of energy in and a lot of strength in, they'll just seize up. Hoffman moving ever closer to Perkins in the lead of this 1500 freestyle final.
So Hoffman, as he did in the 400, swimming a sensible race, letting another man take the early pace and take the wind out of the sails of the other competitors. But Hoffman knows exactly what he has to do. He's a tactical swimmer. He knows how to swim this 1500 meters. Look at Perkins' time, 5 seconds now under world record pace. So this really is going to be a battle between Australia and Europe, and it looks like the European representatives are both coming from Germany, and that's Hoffman in 4 and Pfeiffer in 3. Now the progression of this world record really has moved on since 1973, where it stood at 15 minutes 31. It dropped 3 seconds to 75, then it was down to 15:03 in 78. It stood still, it went down 2 seconds, and in 86 it wasn't as fast in those world championships, 15:05. But I've got a feeling here that these two men are going to go very close to the world record. I think they're going to go under 15 minutes, Drew. They really are setting a tremendous pace, and now they're challenging each other, and this usually is a good sign in the 1500 meters. So the 500 meters, it's Perkins just over Hoffman. Perkins maybe beginning to tire a little bit, or maybe he's seen Hoffman and said, okay, hold on, mate, I'm not going to do all this hard work, you come and join me up here.
Yes, in order to set a time like that, Salnikov was one of the few swimmers who could do it on his own. No one could get near him, of course, when he's swimming 14:54. And I remember seeing him in a very solitary race, swam in Russia, the 14:54 record, back there in 1983. He was just so lonely, and this must help those two swimmers to help each other to get underneath that barrier. Remember, they've got to go under 30 seconds for every length of the pool. That's very controlled swimming, even pace swimming. Once you've set the first 100 up, you got into the rhythm of your race at 400, 500, You're now beginning to really draw on all that endurance training. Tremendous aerobic fitness. The technique taking care of itself. Just got to hold on to the pacing. Hold on to your race plan. Not have it spoiled by someone else doing something silly like going too fast or too slow.
And these men were probably in training till yesterday. It must be quite tough, this event coming on the last day, for them to keep their fitness at a high level. So they probably swam 2 sessions yesterday and probably covered some 10,000 meters. At training at home, they would be training anything up to 25,000 meters a day when they're in full training. And they have to remain extremely fit all the way through the competition. And it must have been quite tough for Hoffman, because he had to also taper down for the 400 meters freestyle 2 days ago, and then he had to come back and swim this longer distance. So Hoffman now taking over the lead. They're still under that world record pace. The challenge is still there for from Perkins, but now Hoffman, representing Germany and Europe, is beginning to take this race on, Drew, and maybe Perkins is going to just fade away. But still in the picture is Perkins, their tough Australian. Look at him accelerate into the wall, lifts the head up a little bit too high going into the wall, and now Hoffman beginning to maybe just kick a little bit harder.
Yes, Perkins beginning to feel the early pace that he set. Normally he was breathing to both sides, and on the first 20 meters of this length he was breathing to the left every 2 strokes instead of every 3. Needs air in, needs oxygen in much earlier, much more often. But he's still keeping a check, throwing the head to the right just to see where Hoffman is. There's those grueling turns, you know, after 800 meters, even although it's only halfway through the race. Every time you turn, you're having to break rhythm, you're having to switch direction, you're having to start again, you're having to change your kick. And it's those changes which sap the energy, and this is where the mental concentration comes in.
Well, they're just over halfway in this 1500 meters race, and this is where it's going to start to hurt just a little bit. There are probably a couple of barriers in this race. They've just gone over one of them. That was the 800 meters. So they're probably hurting down this 900. Then the next barrier will come in at around 1200 meters, where the pain really does build up in intensity. After that, it begins to ease off a little bit, becomes a little bit more like plain sailing for these guys. They know they've only got 300 meters left, and 300 meters for these men at this level of swimming isn't a long distance when you consider the sort of training they do. But it looks very much now like Hoffman is beginning to try and burn off Kieran Perkins. This is some tactical race that Hoffman has swum. He can probably feel and sense that Perkins is tiring a little bit. Stefan Pfeiffer in lane 3, he's still there and thereabouts. He's swimming a very brave race, and considering Pfeiffer at 25 years of age probably doesn't put in so much hard training as he used to, because it gets tougher every year. But Perkins still swimming a brave race. He's still hanging on to Hoffman. The crowd are behind Perkins. Hoffman tried to burn him off there, hasn't quite been able to manage to do it. Perkins is still hanging on.
Hoffman looking so strong here. Very low carry over the water, no extra energy again. Head very low. Slight splashing on that sideways entry, but so strong under the water. There's the pull onto the wall, breaks into stroke again. At 1,000 meters, they say that is the critical pacing distance. If you've set it correctly at 1,000 meters, you then just have to suffer that pain that David was talking about, the 1,200, and then you can psychologically lift and coast in for the final surge, and you can in fact increase speed, providing you've got the conditioning and the pacing right in the early part.
So these swimmers, probably the fittest swimmers of all the events. Their resting heart rate would probably be around 48 seconds, and their heart rate now is probably up at around 170, 180, and down the last length, no doubt that heart rate will go close to 200 beats a minute. So they really are putting in a tremendous amount of effort. Perkins not alternating his breathing, he did there. But Hoffman still looking very comfortable. With 400 meters to go, Hoffman taking a look at Perkins. He's probably thinking, how long are you going to be able to stay with me? He's putting in a little push now, but Perkins doesn't want to lose sight of him. They've got their goggles on so they can see exactly where each other are. And it really is turning into a superb race. Technically, it's excellent, and it's great to see it at 1,500 meters. These two guys being able to stay with each other. So now Hoffman is beginning to attack the turns. Perkins still holding on to him.
Yes, the youngster not giving in, working very, very hard at this stage. He won't want to let Hoffman go. It's Australia here challenging the might of European middle distance training. The Germans there. Perkins starting to haul up now. The crowd beginning to get behind him. Will he make his move now, or will he wait until later in the race?
So Hoffman must feel like he's swimming against 6,001 swimmers, because there's 6,000 people behind this Australian. Hoffman swimming for Germany, of course. But Perkins with the crowd behind him. He really is going to get psyched down the last 200 meters. Hoffman holding on to the lead. Look at the Australians waving on Perkins. And Hoffman must feel like a lonely man out there. But he knows what he's got to do. He's done this before. He knows a world record must be on, because they really have pushed themselves. Perkins took them out so hard. He might be paying for that early pace now. Hoffman, who swum the better race, but Perkins is still there. And they're attacking the turns now. They both get good starfish ratings for those turns. 12:52. They're still 5 seconds under world record pace. Drew, this is an astounding battle between these two men.
Absolutely incredible. You know, a small mistake at the beginning of a 1,500 can ruin the race, and it looks as if Perkins now is just beginning to inch up and pick up his pace. Every time he goes up that length, the Australian team are on their feet, waving the towels. They know he has more left because of his personal best time. And will he now start to challenge? He's down to 3 lengths to go, 3 laps between him and a world championship in sub-15.
Well, Perkins is going to have to try and decrease that lead of Hoffman if he's going to be anywhere down the last 50. We know, Drew, as you said, he's a great finisher, and he's got these 6,000 Australians behind him. Hoffman's only got the German crowd, and that must be around 50 Germans here in this crowd. Against 6,000 Australians, there's 100 meters to go. We're going to get a world record, but we don't know who's going to win the gold and who's going to get that world record.
These swimmers have a lot left. It's Germany versus Australia. Hoffman, who's led for the majority of the race. You can see Perkins coming at him. He's breathing to the right. He'll know Perkins is there. Perkins has moved up. 50 to go, and Perkins is now coming for Australia against Germany.
So with 45 meters to go, this is going to be an incredible finish. Hoffman going now, increasing the speed of the turnover, but Perkins is still coming. Perkins with a superb second last 50, really did pull in Hoffman. Has Hoffman got enough? They're going to get the head down now. They're moving to the 6-beat kick. They're both going for it. Where do they find the energy? It's a world record. Who gets it? Yes, it's Hoffman for Germany. A new world record, and the gold medal goes to Hoffman. The silver going to Kieran Perkins from Australia. Here in Perth, Australia, for the men's 4x100 meters medley relay. And the Canadian team surprisingly swam the fastest to qualify for this race. And the United States, who used a B team, are in lane 5. The koala bear won't be swimming for anybody because the Australian team members have already been picked. But there we have the team from Spain. Lopez Zubero, who did so well in the 100 backstroke, winning the bronze. Sergio Lopez, good on the breaststroke. And that's the team from the Soviet Union. They're also tough, so they should be amongst the medals. Tkachenko, Samin, the front crawl.
Represented by
and in lane 3, there we have the German team. This is a new range of fast swimming suits that the German team have pioneered. And their team, the Mark Tewksbury, Cleveland, Geary and Sandy Goss. Rouse, Henderson, Wunderlich and Biondi, they should win this one. So they too are capable of being amongst the medals. Stakovic on the back, Rogers on the breast, Bruce on the butterfly and Belden on the front crawl. And Schlejovic is swimming the back, Decker is on the breast, Van Dam on the butterfly, and they thank the 5. Canada in 4, the fastest qualifiers, Germany in 3. That's where we're going to get the medals from. And look at the start from the American swimmer, Jeff Rouse, with that underwater dolphin kick, straight away into the lead. And in second place, it's in lane 3, Germany. Rouse from the United States. It really is quite an advantage being able to do that underwater dolphin kick here on the backstroke stroke.
And here we have a repeat of the 100 individual final. Mark Tewksbury, who swims without a cap there in lane 4 for Canada. Again, Rouse with that excellent dolphin kick, just taking the edge off Tewksbury, and Tewksbury coming back. You know, what a finish we saw in the 100 individual event. This is the team event. They want to be out there for their pals and their friends and the teammates, and it's Rouse taking it in this last 10 metres.
So it's United States in first, Canada in second, and Spain down at the bottom of the picture in third position. So that's exactly how they finished in the individual 100 metres backstroke. So it's USA now with Wunderlich on the breaststroke leg. They got a great takeover, and swimming for Canada is John Cleveland. But Wunderlich with that new stroke where the hands rise above the surface of the water, thumbs first and pushing forward with full extension. And also look at Soviet Union swimmer Volkov on the breaststroke. My goodness, he's shifting on that 50.
Well, we always know that he is the sprint specialist on breaststroke. He's really come out of that turn very, very well, and he really is challenging Eric Wunderlich for a first position here. The Russians, who were so often the American challengers, now up in medal position. Also coming through there in lane number 6 is Italy through Minervini, who is also an excellent breaststroker.
This is some swim by Volkov in lane 2 for the Soviet Union. He must be under 60 seconds for that split. Tremendous! So he puts the Russians in gold medal position, and swimming the butterfly for them is Kulikov. And that was a tremendous leg. Swimming butterfly for the United States is Mark Henderson. And look for Mark Henderson to try and get back the lead for the United States. But Kulikov just being caught now up the first 15, but he's still maintaining that lead. Great swimming here by the Soviet team. And in third position, it looks like now Germany coming with a tremendous leg from Michael Gross, the koala bear.
I'm sure United States and Russia knew that butterfly was the weak link. Here comes Gross in lane number 3, but Russia hanging on. It's Kulikov from Henderson, and they are stroke for stroke as we move to the final leg. And then for the United States, the great Matt Biondi.
And with Biondi going in for you, you know that you're going to have a tremendous last leg swimmer. But look at Trajanovic for the Soviet team. He's trying to hold on to Biondi, but Biondi is awesome on the 100 meters freestyle. He's a world record holder. Look at this turn now. Biondi's so tough off the turn, a little bit close to the wall there, but he comes out a half-meter clear of the Russian swimmer in lane 2.
And Trajanovic has done his best. Biondi knows that he's going for another gold, and a great battle there in 3 and 4 between Germany and Canada, Richter and Goss. Biondi leading the field.
No doubt about where the gold medal is going to go to the United States. And what a tremendous challenge it was from the Soviet team. Who's going to get the bronze? Whoa! I wouldn't like to split those two, but wouldn't it be nice if Michael Gross, with his last swim, gets the bronze in that relay? But no doubt about the winners. The team win the gold, silver to the Soviet Union, and indeed Germany pick up the bronze.
Line up for you.
It's going to be a tremendous race, just like the Olympic Games with Nesty and Biondi. Biondi expected to win the Olympics, but that man, Anthony Nesty from Suriname, came through and pipped him for the gold medal. And a lot of people thought, who is this guy? But we remembered what he was like in the United States, swimming for Florida, and we knew he was in with a chance there. But that's Matt Biondi in lane number 1. The winner of 4.
Can call on a lot of talent and a lot of similar experiences of being in finals like this.
And the starters' orders in their way. Biondi with a great start. Remember, he's 6 feet 5 inches tall. Nesty in the middle of the picture, going fast too, but remember, Nesty is strong on the finish. He's trailing right now. Kulikov in 5 is also going very well. Michael Gross, that's him there, right at the bottom of the picture, the albatross they call him. Tremendous arm span or wingspan, and it's Gross at the first 50, 24.59, under world record pace.
And Biondi is now challenging in lane 1. Gross to the first 50 as expected, perhaps, with that tremendous height and reach. But they're now all coming back together. Gross and Biondi from outside lanes leading the field here. It's tremendous. Now Nesty in lane 4 coming through in the last 10-15 metres.
So Nesty is coming through. There's 5 metres to go. It's Gross and Nesty. Who's going to get the touch? Nesty with a poor finish, but he gets the gold. Anthony Nesty. Good time. Join us after this for more swimming. Progression from 1950, where we started off with a time of 64. By 1960 it dropped to 58.7. In 1970, 55.6, and that was split swimming that, and then 54.27, down to now the record held by Pablo Morales. Nicole Haslett there we can see in lane number 4. 2 American girls right next to each other, so that's going to make the race a good pace.
Indeed, Nicole Haslett though didn't look too good in the middle of the relay. I think that the drain and
that tend to take it, but some of them showing a little bit of discipline. Only 3 went in. So the temperatures are quite warm. You don't want to use up any extra energy, and a good start, and they're all away. With the first to show is Yong Zhong from China in lane number 1. Remember, Janet Evans, the distance swimmer, she's in lane 5, and she's going to be fairly slow. You can see Janet Evans probably in 7th position right now. We join the middle of the field. That's Nicole Haslett with the black cap with the stars and stripes on, but Luminata Dubrescu in lane number 7 is leading at the first 50.
28.39, that's a very positive start from the very tall Romanian swimmer. They've always had a very, very powerful group of female swimmers coming out of Romania. She's looking very, very good at 75, very long, very balanced, very low in the water, nice, comfortable technique, and it's Dubrescu leading the field. And with the others very, very close behind and all in a line as they come to the 100-metre mark.
So it's been typical in these championships, the swimmers that tend to go out fast and hard at the beginning aren't the swimmers that win gold, but it's Luminita Dubrescu leading at the 100, being pushed now by Hayley Lewis of Australia at the top of the picture with the yellow cap. It's these 2 girls, Dubrescu now tiring, Hayley Lewis. She looks like she's got a nice balance stroke there. A 2-beat kick, beginning to increase the velocity of the kick now. And look at the Americans coming through. Janet Evans and Haslett in 4. So this race is really on. It's exciting now. This girl could win the gold, but the Americans are pushing hard.
Yes, Hayley Lewis, the Australian crowd right behind her, and Evans in the middle there in lane 5 with that very fast revving stroke. It's between Lewis and Evans. Lewis looks to have it on the camera shot there. It's Evans in the centre, flailing her arms to get up that pool. Women's 200 freestyle, 5 metres to go.
And 5 metres to go, there's nothing in it. Who's going to get the touch? And it looks like Hayley Lewis from Australia wins the gold from an outside position. Her time, Jacobson with the bronze. So Lewis wins the gold. Good time, 2:00.48. Janet Evans picks up the silver, and Jacobson from Denmark, a good bronze medal for her. Of the 400 IM from 1950, where it was standing at 5:48.5. And it improved quite a lot in that decade, down to 5:04. And then from 60 to 70, it improved another 30 seconds odd, and then from 70 to 80, it went all the way from 4:31 to 4:19. We used to think 4:19 was a great time, probably unbeatable, but look at it now. The world record stands at fourth record, is right there in lane 4, Tamas Dani from Hungary, and he must be one of the favorites, but as Drew has said, has pinpointed other favorites. Namesnik from the United States has been swimming well this year, ranked number 2 in the world this year, and don't forget Dave Wharton in lane 7. So is Dani the man that we're going for? Well, the second time, Dani looking extremely fit. Not an ounce of fat on that man. And second time they're away. Unusual to have a false start in this 400 IM. Now they're into the butterfly leg, and it's Dave Wharton, as expected, at the top of the picture in the second top lane, without the cap, leading on the butterfly. And surprisingly, Dani is going with him. So we're looking for a tremendous swim from Dani here. He's committing himself, and Namesnik also in lane 5 going out very hard on this butterfly. So it's 100 meters butterfly, 100 backstroke, 100 breaststroke, and 100 front crawl.
This event famous for change of leadership and change of positioning because of the different strengths and weaknesses of each swimmer. And here on the butterfly in the center there, it's Danier and Szabo and Namesnik going out for this first 100, change now from butterfly to backstroke.
So Dani really committing himself. Namesnik was leading up the first 50, but Dani really is exceptionally strong on all strokes, moves ahead slightly on the backstroke, but apart from that, nearly a perfect stroke. There you can see on the head-on position, the tremendous flexibility in Dani's shoulders as he overextends the arms. Now he's looking for the wall now, he's looking too much actually, tumbles off, kicks off the wall, no dolphin kick on this, the individual medley event, because that really is strength sapping. So Tamas Dani from Hungary, looking to have it all his own way right now. He's got a body length clear over Namesnik, and I think Dani's after this world record.
Certainly a tremendous commitment in the first 200, and we know that there is a strong breaststroke to come. Dani under the flags, 5 meters to go, checking for his turn. This is the difficult one, the backstroke onto breaststroke. Got to watch for disqualification. It's technically the most difficult turn in the whole series. Now, he's on pace for a new world record, and we're looking to see this very unusual and distinctive Hungarian-style breaststroke from Szabo and Dani.
So Dani looking around to see where the fastest breaststroker in lane 5, Namesnik is, and Namesnik is right there. Namesnik also showing us this Hungarian style of breaststroke where the thumbs come up and the hands exit the water on the recovery of the stroke. Dani shouldn't be looking round, he's slipping a little bit now. Maybe he's panicking a bit as he feels Namesnik coming at him on the breaststroke. So we're going to get a tremendous final 100 meters. We're still on the breaststroke leg with Dani still maintaining his lead. Namesnik is pushing. Namesnik looks to be rushing the stroke just a little bit more, so he could be using up a lot more energy on this leg. Dani still looking comfortable, puts in a little bit of spurt now on the breaststroke. When they turn here, there's Dani going in, just over a second lead, 3:14.72. He's under world record pace. That breaststroke leg, Namesnik really pushed him on that, so we could have a world record here. Dani is looking extremely comfortable. Namesnik is being burnt off.
Dani took a tremendous drive off that turn from breaststroke to freestyle. Namesnik had made the challenge in the breaststroke, moved up onto his hips. Dani got to the wall first and then went for this freestyle. He knows he's on world record pace. He's going for the time, he's going for the gold. Tremendous swim from Tamas Dani of Hungary.
So with 30 meters to go, Tamas Dani from Hungary is going to have to do it all on his own. No one's pushing him down these last 20 meters. The crowd are behind him. 5,000 Australians, very knowledgeable Australians, are pushing this man onto gold and also a world record. Dani now's got to get the head down. That's world record, 4:14, no doubt about it. 4:12.36. We thought something was on there. He's taken 2.3 seconds off that world record. Tremendous swim by Tamas Darni and the Hungarians. That's the world record time, 4:12.36 from Hungary. Eric Namesnik from the United States with the silver, 4:15.21. Stefano Battistelli with the bronze, 4:16.60. This is the women's 100 breaststroke. In the 20s, they were swimming 3:38. And then there's a big jump down to 3:11 in the 30s. And then in the 40s, they went under 3 minutes. And then down into the 50s, 2:48. And then the rules changed where not so much dolphin was allowed in the stroke. And the time went down to 2:39. Didn't improve that much in that decade, 2:38.5. And then in 80, another 10-second leap under 2:30. And now we're with that record, 2:26.71, which Silke Horner holds from East Germany. And that's the girl in lane number 1.
Like Manuela Dalla Valle of Italy.
Interesting to see who does commit themselves to this race. Drew, you're right, because I think the winner is the person that really does take it out and tries to hold on to the lead. And down at the bottom of your picture, Volkova from the Soviet Union. The 22-year-old Volkova going very well, but also up there in lane number 6, Doriers from Germany without the cap, swimming with that long, high stroke. The girls tend to come up a lot higher on the breaststroke than the men, and it's Doriers in 6 leading up the first 50, and they've got to be around 33 if they're going to be swimming under 2:29, 2:30, 34.10, so it's not that fast. Also Henel from Germany at the top of the picture going well. Who's Mina, who's in lane 7. Line back right now. Is she playing a tactical game? And Cloutier from Canada in 3 is also going well. But they are the leaders. Henel from Germany at the top of the picture. Doriers in 6 and also going well. Cloutier in lane number 3. 3 lanes up from the bottom.
Alexandra Henel at the top of the picture there, the white hat, coming to the 100-meter mark. Good shot into the wall, good stretch, the underwater pool, the kick through onto the stroke, 1:12.7. It's a couple of seconds off the world record. That's not what it's about now, it's about placing. Henel has taken it out very, very hard for the first 100 meters, and the field has dropped back slightly, but now in the center of your picture. 4 lanes down, Lindley Frame of Australia coming through, and Manuela Dalla Valle there in the yellow cap, always a tough fighter at the end of the race coming through for Italy.
And Dalla Valle is tough. She's going to be there or thereabouts for the finish. Lindley Frame from Australia biding her time. There's 50 meters to go. Dalla Valle turns for home first. In second place it was Cloutier of Canada, but look at the turn Lindley Frame got there. Tremendous turn by Frame of Australia in lane 4, and look at Frame go now. Also at the bottom of your picture, Volkova of the Soviet Union. The race is really on. Can Dalla Valle hold on? Look at Volkova go. Look at Lindley Frame from Australia go. There's 15 meters to go. The race is on between Volkova and Frame. The crowd are pushing them both through. Here comes Doriers, but no, it's going to be Volkova of Frame. Volkova's going for the wall. Volkova gets a touch from lane 1, under 2:30. That's the time we thought was going to win it. We projected on the Starfish ratings, and now we can have confirmation of the results. Volkova, gold, Frame, silver, Doriers from Germany with the bronze. And there we have the start list. Poland in 1, Australia 2, Italy 3, United States 4, Germany 5, Sweden 6, Canada 7, and the Soviet Union 8. And let's look at the German team, Drew. We've got Peter Sitt, butterfly, and picking a silver medal up there. So they've got a very solid team.
The final, and I wouldn't even write out the Australians. Home crowd. While they didn't do very well at the last World, an incredible battle here.
That's the Italian team in lane 3, one of the favourites. Indeed 4. And over the last 20 years, the Americans have been...
Very interesting, you know, that despite the fact that the team didn't do particularly well in their term.
There we have the Swedish team. The world record that the Americans, I should say, and that's also the European record, and that's held by the East German team. And they've always been able to put together quite a solid... So in lane number 4, the United States, Troy Dolby goes off for them. In lane number 3, it's Adini from Italy. And in lane number 5, it's Germany. So it looks like the early leader, Troy Dolby, in lane number 4 from the United States. And he's closely followed by lane 3, Edini, and also Peter Seat from Germany.
And of course, it is a race. The first swimmer can't just sit there on laurels. There's the white hat of America in the centre there, Troy Dolby. But out there, in the far side, on lane 8, it is Trojanovic of the USSR who is setting a very hectic pace. His arms are going very, very fast for a 200 freestyler, and he has won the first 100 meters of this 800 meter event.
So Trojanovic from the Soviet Union committing the Soviet team, and we did mention that they could be an outside chance. The other teams don't always see what the lane 8 is doing, or the member in lane 8. Troy Dolby now with a white cap with the stars and stripes isn't spotted him because he's breathing to the other side. So it's Troy Dolby now beginning to inch into the lead, but it's still Trojanovic who went out blazingly fast for the first 100. Still in the lead with Troy Dolby of the United States. In second position, it looks very much like Germany, of third position, and now Trojanovic is moving down the field as he tires, and Troy Dolby is going to give the American team the lead after the first leg of this 4x200 freestyle relay.
Troy Dolby handing over to Melvin Stewart here between 1 and 2. Very good takeover from the Americans. They're usually very sharp on this aspect of the race. So it's Melvin Stewart with the responsibility now of keeping USA in the pole position. In second place, coming through for Germany, is Stefan Zessner, and the Russian team, although still there in lane 8, beginning to just ease back a little bit in the shape of Bashkatov.
So it's the American team in first, it's Germany in second, and it's Russia in third. As expected, Stefan Zessner, the silver medalist in the individual 200 meters, is beginning to make his move on Melvin Stewart of the United States in 4. But at the top of your picture in lane 8, the Russians are still in it with Bashkatov. So a tough race here developing. Where are the Italians? They should be coming through fairly soon, but no, the Italians are quite a way behind. Melvin Stewart from the United States is leading. In second position, it's Germany with Zessner still making the move. And in third position, it's the Soviet Union. So Stewart for the United States, swimming well. He's holding off the silver medalist. This is a tremendous leg by Melvin Stewart from the United States. Zessner there, you can see him on the right, in the middle. And who's going to turn first? It's the Americans. Second is Germany. Third is USSR. And look at Sweden coming through now. Sweden in third position, USSR in fourth. And Zessner is right on the shoulder of Stewart of America. This is going to be a tremendous last two legs, and Zessner now kicking hard, and here come the Swedish team also. So it's 1, 2, 3, America first, Germany second, and Sweden third.
What a tremendous leg from Tommy Werner, that experienced 200 freestyler from Sweden. He really put them back in contention. But it's Germany. The third swimmer here, Stefan Pfeiffer. 400, 200 freestyler, excellent technician, Stefan Pfeiffer. Just ahead though of the third swimmer, Danny Jorgensen of America. Sweden there as well. What a tremendous battle in this difficult, longer relay, 4x200 freestyle. The pole teams there, America, Germany and Sweden, just taking it out, spearheading the event. Where are the Italians? They're a big disappointment in this stage of the race. But it's Pfeiffer now stretching his lead to half a body length as he gets to the halfway mark, in his leg, the third leg of this 4x200 relay.
So let's check and see if they're under world record pace. Yes, they're just under world record pace, with Stefan Pfeiffer of Germany leading the very strong American team, and Sweden surprisingly in third position. And remember, Sweden have Anders Holmertz on their last leg. The Americans have the out-of-touch Doug Jertson, and the Germans have Michael Gross. So it's going to be a battle royal, I think, between Germany and Sweden. They're beginning to drop Jorgensen from the United States. Germany are leading. They've got the man that I would put my money on to take them home for the gold, but who knows, he's going to come up against a very tough Anders Holmertz from Sweden. So it's first Germany, second Sweden. What's happened to the American team? Jorgensen has really let them down in this third leg. They really have pushed them back, these two European teams. Germany leading. Let's check these takeovers. Gross is away. Tremendous there. And Andre Holmertz is away.
Sweden just maybe lost too much distance there in that third leg, that last 100. The pressure being put on by Pfeiffer, but it's Michael Gross now. How fit is he for 200 freestyle? He's looking cool, he's looking calm, he's got it under control. The pressure is on Jertson, he's got to make his tactical decision.
So it's Germany leading this, but it looks now like the American team has come through with Doug Jertson. No, it's still Michael Gross. A tremendous swim there by Michael Gross in lane number 5 for Germany. In lane number 4, we've got the United States team who are beginning to make the move. But it's Michael Gross swimming well. We were reading the lanes a little bit wrong there. It's Americans in lane 4. We were given just a little bit of the wrong information. It's Germany in first, United States in second position. Michael Gross holding off Doug Jertson. Jertson, who we thought was out of touch, is still holding on. But look at Michael Gross. He's got a meter over Jertson of United States, and now with just 50 meters to go, it looks like the battle is on. Gross with a good turn. Jertson has got the advantage because he can see exactly what he's got to do, but Michael Gross is holding on.
Michael Gross, we don't know his fitness. We know he's trained hard. He's got to hold Germany there in the lead. He's down to the last part of the race. We're coming to the last 10 meters. Can he hold on for gold?
He is going to hold on, no doubt about that. Gold to Germany, 7:13.50, just a second outside the world record. The United States team in second position, and it looked like Sweden, who were doing so well, got with the silver. Italy picking up the bronze, and Sweden in fourth position.